Anti-racism strategist. I look up for ways to try to replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice, because unfortunately we're in a global system where white supremacy dominates all areas of activity. So we need to replace that system with a just system.
Define white supremacy.
White supremacy means people who believe through speech, thought, and action that they should dominate, control, and mistreat people classified as non-white. And we're dominated by that system completely globally.
How do you know that?
Because they said it. The people who put white supremacy in action, they specifically said that they were doing that. You go back to the so-called forefathers of this nation, and even in some of the European nations, they specifically said we're going to create a system of white supremacy where the people who are classified as non-white will be the inferiors. And they put these things into law, they put them into practice, and they put them into military defense. They defended these laws militarily, and that's where we are now.
And you said globally they've done this.
Globally, absolutely.
And so white people are smarter than black people, and have they done this to all other people? Or
yeah, all people.
All
people. No, all people are
all
dominated.
All people color.
All people who are classified as non-white, they are dominated by the white supremacists.
So how are white people God's chosen people?
No.
Because you say no?
No.
Then why were they able to sit down and make a decision like that? We're going to build a system that control all people of color. We're going to do this and do that, and then the people of color have fallen into that.
Great question.
Somebody had to be smart and somebody had to be dumb.
Yep.
And it seems to me that the people of color are the dumb one, because as you said, it's the white people who are making this happen, right?
I agree 100%.
And why not overcome one? Because as you said, it's the white people who are making this happen, right?
I agree 100%.
And why not overcome being dumb rather than trying to stop the smart man from doing what he does?
Because non-white people are too dumb to get smart.
Really?
Yeah,
so
because Neely Fuller, there's a brother named Neely Fuller who said that the white supremacists, and I separate white people and white supremacists. There's three people, as our brother Neely Fuller said, on the planet. You have white, non-white, and white supremacists. The white supremacists are the smartest people on the planet. I 100% agree with that.
Wow. And God made them that way?
No, God didn't make them that way, but they just evolved that way because they knew that their numbers were low in the global scheme of the planet. So they had to come up with ways to survive, and they had to come up with codes. So they had to codify their actions with each other to dominate the rest of the planet. And people who are non-white, they haven't figured out those codes, and they don't understand that they have to have codes in order to combat that. So we're still fighting over tribal bullshit. And that's our problem as people who are victims of white supremacy. And we haven't been smart enough to figure that out. So I agree with you to that extent.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to do with God, just because somebody's dominating.
Made human beings.
Okay,
and it will have to have something to do with him. Well, if he made white people smart, and you sound like he only made a few white people smart enough to control the world, and make people of color do what they want to do.
So if you can dominate people
and control them.
So let me understand what you're asking. So if you can dominate people and control people, God made you smarter.
No, well, there are evil people who can do that too.
Right, so I agree. That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of white supremacists who can dominate people and control people. God made you smarter.
No, well, there are evil people who can do that too.
Right, so I agree. That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of white supremacists.
But
they are evil.
But they're still dumb people, because you have to be dumb to allow someone to manipulate and control you. But I want to ask you this.
Well, let's unpack that though. I don't want to lose that. That was very interesting. And I would have to ask you, were Jewish people in Nazi Germany dumb for being dominated by Hitler?
And you mentioned the Jews. There are white people who are blaming the Jews for their situation.
Right.
If these people are so smart, why can't they manipulate the Jews too?
If who's smart now?
If the whites are so smart, as you say that they are, supremacists,
Right.
supremacists, why can't they control the Jews?
Okay, you have to define what a Jewish person is now, because the definition of Jewish, it kind of fluctuates, because you have Jewish people who are classified as white. So
And are you putting all those in the same basket?
No, because you have Jewish people who are black too, because that's why I want to know what a Jewish person is racially.
So, but when you mention white supremacy,
You overlook that, brother.
No,
you got to
I'm
define.
coming to that.
Okay,
So
you got to define what a
understand.
Jewish person is racially.
First, I'm trying to find out.
But see, back in Nazi Germany, they had a clear definition of what it was racially, because the thing is, the Jewish people were white, but they weren't white enough. So they wanted to get out the mulatto strain out of Europe. They've always done that. Even Stalin did that. There was another Holocaust before that with the Holodomor that they had in the Ukraine. So there's always been this thing of getting out that darker melanated bloodline, no matter how thin it is, out of Europe. They've been doing that for a long time. So
let me
a lot
ask.
of Jewish people are classified as white now.
So are you personally classifying the Jews with the whites that you call white supremacists?
No, because you have white Jews and you have black Jews.
So are any Jews in that category of white supremacy?
Yes, you have Jews in the Klan.
And
there's Jews in the Klan. There's Jews in the alt-right. You have a lot of Jews who do practice white supremacy. Therefore,
And are there black in that too?
If they're practicing white supremacy, are they really Jewish? Because white supremacy is its own religion.
Are blacks included in that category as white supremacy as well?
You can't be a black white supremacist.
You said they were black Jews.
Right, but I didn't say in the black.
But none
Jews,
of them are white supremacists.
No, because as a matter of fact, over in Israel, the black Jews are being persecuted and punished, and they have lawsuits against